Well, so far on the Boss BR-800 I've only recorded using the guitar input jack. That works perfectly well for one person, but in theory this thing can record 2 or 4 tracks with 4 inputs simultaneously, and obviously there's only one of me and I can only play one guitar at a time. But I thought I'd explore it anyway.
How are you going to do that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's the trick. I have this sort of adapter thing. It splits 3.5mm stereo jack plug into 2 3.5mm mono jack plugs, and it doesn't matter which one. I choose one of those, and here's my 1/4 inch mono jack plug, and all I need to do is put that into something that can play, you know, laptop, computer or something like that.
Oh, well, that's clever.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Ingenious or what? Press menu and choose input select. We've got a number of different input options. Assuming that what I'm going to try and do is record 2 inputs simultaneously, I'm going to use input 1 to 4. I'll tell you why in a minute, which will record the inputs on the 4 input mono jack sockets simultaneously. Having selected 4 simultaneous inputs, the likelihood is that when we choose effects, it will default to the 4 input bank, which gives you a limited range of possible options. Actually, they're quite worth looking at. Let's just go right on that one. You can see that you can adjust the low cut, compression, EQ and noise suppression for each of the 4 inputs separately. But actually we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is just use the guitar bank, and that's going to allow me to choose the same lot of guitar effects that I normally would. Now the reason we're using the 4 input mode is because, as far as I can tell from playing around with this, the effects are applied to input 1 and input 2, but not to input 3 and input 4. And what I've got here is the virtual Andy recorded through the laptop computer on coming in on input 3. Now that's already got some effects on it, so I don't want to add any more effects on top of that, but I do want to apply the effects to the guitar that I'm going to record on input 1. You might wonder why we didn't go for the simultaneous input 1 and input 2 option, and that's because if we go to the simultaneous effect bank, it gives you VO plus GT amp, which is sort of microphone voice plus guitar amp, and there are a number of possibilities here. We've got PO1 all the way down to PO5, which are voice plus guitar amp, and then we've got acoustic simulation or acoustic, but what we don't have is guitar and guitar in any of these options, and that's why I'm choosing the 4 input rather than the 2 input simultaneous recording. Right, lots of concentration going on here. We've got virtual Andy plugged into input 3, we've got me plugged into input 1, we are on record there. So what we've got to do is start the virtual Andy up, and then, press play, start the virtual Andy up, and okay. Here we go.
Ready when you are.
I'm ready.